Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Commissar here, and today I have another 1 vs 1 Starcraft 2 ladder game for you all. Today's game featuring Liquid Sheth, just like the last one did that I made about 10 minutes ago. And yeah, Liquid Sheth, again our Red Zerg player on the same map, Daybreak, spawning in the top right hand side of the map. Okay, so Sheth, recent results, same as last game, although you may not have seen that yet, so I will say them again anyway. Most notable is his run at MLG, which was where he defeated Huangxin, Grubby, and Rain, whilst losing 1-2, so taking a game off each of Puma, Lucira, and Lenok. Very impressive results from Sheth, and there is a replay pack on Reddit, which you can find quite easily by looking for Sheth on Reddit, if you're curious about that. Other than that, yeah, he's just generally a really good player at the moment, although obviously not achieving any big results in tournaments for quite some time. So I wouldn't call him in a slump, but he is certainly, has the potential perhaps to do better. And oh, I love this play. Recently it was discovered that you can tell your drones to move. You can see him doing a little bit of that, and then queue up them to mine minerals, and they will not stop moving towards the mineral patch. Basically, drones, all workers decelerate while they go over to mineral patches, and that just removes the deceleration, and it works really well to get your mineral income a little bit higher. So anyway, the opponent of Sheth, of course, is IS Axslav, as you can see for yourselves. IS Infinity 7, his team, and Axslav, of course, being a very, very well-known Protoss player, used to be on EG once upon a time. Then they kicked him off despite him not being the worst performing player on the team, which was slightly controversial, but I mean, EG allowed to do what they want with their players, I suppose, so no one should really get too mad at them for it, except for perhaps Axslav. And yeah. So he's a really nice guy. He has a very popular live stream, one of the most educational Protoss live streams around, and he is going to deny both the natural and the third base, it looks like, of Sheth. Meanwhile, Sheth is getting out 6-lings here, going to do a little bit of harassment on Axslav, and oh, these 6-lings might get something done here as Axslav going for a very unorthodox build, and that he is not getting a Forge Fast Expand, but is rather going Gateway first. And this is not done by many players. There will be one Zealot out to deal with these 6-lings, but 6-lings can kill a Zealot, and this could be really, really bad for Axslav. The cancel here might be forced, so it appears that both players might have delayed expansions. Well, it looks like the probes will be pulled for Axslav, and he should be able to hold on here. Oh, the building placement, going to see him lose one probe, but the Forge is now going down, so he will eventually have cannons up, and basically Sheth is trying to be pesky, trying to keep those guys off the line to cost his opponent a little bit of money. Okay, meanwhile Sheth is streaming out more and more lings across the map, actually, a ton on the field. 13, early pressure, certainly in Sheth's arsenal, despite how well mannered he is. This is not bad manners. This is him reacting to being placed behind by a non-Forge fast expanding Protoss player, and trying to exploit that lack of a Forge, but oh, Axslav's positioning is so good here that he should be just fine killing. Oh my god, all these lings are dying, and I don't know why Sheth hasn't backed out yet here. The surround even going down for Axslav, microing so well. The Zealots do fall, but a third Zealot is already out, and at what cost to Axslav did that'll happen? Well, at the cost of 3 workers, and units last tab do show Axslav to have lost a little bit more, actually, as he did indeed lose a pylon over here. He did, I believe, did he have to cancel something? I suppose so, as I don't recall any buildings staying at the front, but nonetheless, Sheth did not make drones during that period, and is now behind by a couple, so overall I'd say that favoured Axslav enormously, as the economy of Sheth has been slowed sufficiently to justify Axslav's play. Yeah, oh yeah, yep, that's all fine. And Sheth, yeah, he is going to be okay. He will have 3 bases after not too long. Fairly quick 3 bases anyway. And it should be just fine for Sheth as long as he doesn't say... Yeah, well, he should be fine. The tech, of course, of Sheth will be a bit delayed, so that might be a big deal. Probably not. But more likely than not, it will be a matter of, say, seeing if, say, a 4-gate of Axslav can break this 3rd base, and then just go on from there. As like I mentioned quite a few times, +1 4-gate pressure is the most common Protoss build versus a Zerg at a pro level. Okay, so I can see this probe die, so another worker lost for Axslav, but it did stay at the third base. That was its purpose in life, and it did achieve that purpose, so it was okay that it died, as I'm sure Axslav would have allowed for that to happen in his build order. Meanwhile, over here, the Overlord from Sheth, very well placed. I'm quite curious to see this. Can Axslav see the shadow? Oh, I can actually see the Overlord. So, in theory, the Overlord should not be able to be seen from there, because it should be slightly up, where it can't actually be hit or seen due to the high ground. And the shadow, I'm curious to see if that would be seen regardless. I'm not quite sure about that one. Okay, so meanwhile we do indeed see gateways at the front, so quite a funky looking wall at the front for Axslav. Is going to be sturdy though, because of course the gateways are quite tanky, and in general, this wall in won't matter much once a third base is up for Axslav, so it's really a temporary thing, so even though perhaps range units could maybe snipe a gateway or something from here, probably not going to matter. And Axslav positioning is not bad at all here. He's getting +1 on the way, and he is going to be going for 5 gate, I believe. 6 gates. Oh, he's going to be going for a 2-base gateway play, and this could be, what am I saying 6 for? It's going to be 8 gates, and these 8 gates are pretty much an all-in tactic, more often than not. Sometimes you get funky situations where it does damage, and then basically the players can macro up out of it. But more often than not, this kind of play here will decide the game, and even in a longer game, Axslav could be put far enough behind to lose the game just by failing if this push does fail. The question is Sheth prepared for this push? At the moment, the answer is no. The Roach Warren is not yet done, and the question will be, how long does it take Axslav to get in position? And Proxy Paladin is on the way over here. Gateways still not all completed yet, and we do indeed have a total of 8 warp gates now finished. They are going to be starting to warp in over here just a moment, over here as well at the third base of Sheth. And the money for Axslav is pretty decent here. He is going to get a pretty big warp in here at the start, and these sentries have enough energy for about 6, maybe even 8 force fields by the time the first ones run out. And that is going to be awesome for Axslav, as all he has to do is control this choke, and this third base will die for sure. And I think it's about to die. Roaches though are on the way, 14 about to pop out, and will they be at the third base in time is the question. I doubt it, as Axslav is already moving in here. Sheth though moving in, trying to get something happening here, but the force fields should be able to see this third base focus down, and yep, it is going to die for sure. Drones are going to evacuate out of there, no problem. But now it's a matter of Axslav. Can he kill off Sheth completely? Or is he going to take the third and try to macro up off the back of this, as he can maybe do that, but with no tech at all, not even a Twilight Council. He really wants to kill his opponent, kill some Harvesters at the very least to make this worthwhile, and he is going to have to contend against a ton of Roaches and Spines here, as we do indeed see the Roaches taking out the Proxy Pylon. Oh, a great play there, but there is another Proxy back here. There is still a probe up here to make more proxies, and meanwhile drones dying at the front en masse. Oh, so many drones dying here, trying to get us around there, and they do eventually get out and do some damage, but at what cost? There are so many drones now dead, a total of, wow, 14, and the Roaches are mostly dead at this stage, or at least force fielded out. Some coming in from behind, and oh, this ramp going to be used against Sheth. His own base now blocked from his army, and there are 2 hatches though in the main, so a lot of reinforcements will be able to get out in time to deal with this, and the drones coming in too should clean it up. The question is, who is ahead at this stage? And with Robotech on the way, with 32 workers killed, with a total of only 25 remaining for Sheth, I would say Axslav is in a great spot right now. But with a bigger harvester count comes a lower army supply, and the question is, can he hold off this Roach counter push of his opponent? A cannon is on the way, but one non-completed cannon won't be enough here. So at the very least, Axslav will be contained to a couple of bases for a while. Possibly worse, as these Roaches, I don't know, they can't take the choke yet, but if they batter down the wall, they might something to happen here. But oh, reinforcements so brutal here. Can Axslav hold? He's getting his +1 armor, so he will be +1/+1. Meanwhile, we do have one attack upgrade for Sheth done too, so even upgrades right now. The Forge will die, so it will not be +1/+1 for Axslav, and the gateways do die too. Like I mentioned, the wall a little bit clunky off 2 bases for Axslav, and he's not on 3 bases yet. Oh my god, we do see the force fields going down, and will it be enough though? No, not enough not in range for that to complete the wall in there of force fields, and there is an immortal out though, so it looks like these Roaches will not be able to kill off Axslav by any means, but perhaps we'll continue him for a little longer. I doubt it though. as this army is starting to look really good for Sheth. And oh, will the Immortal be focused? No, Stalker does go down though. And it will indeed be a nice safe back out for Sheth. And Axslav trying to trap those units, but again, the range of those force fields not the biggest. And of course, the movement speed of the sentries is quite slow. What is it? I'm actually not entirely sure. 2.25 versus the Roaches, who have a movement speed of 3. So the Roaches, of course, are a lot faster, and even going to get this proxy pylon in the end. So Total Walk has killed this game 33-4 still, so no economic damage has been dealt by Axslav at all from that proxy location. Meanwhile, over at the top side, we do see one Ling scouting at the third base, and it is quite a decent wall this time from Axslav. Might want to go for the full wall in, a lot of players do here, so they can keep their army in one spot over here, and have their, basically both entrances defended from Lings. Some players wall on the top of this ramp as well, and you can see now this is why, as we are going to see a double pronged attack maybe from Sheth now, but no, we're going to go from the single prong instead, going to get these rocks it looks like, but these Lings, I don't know if they should be up here, as they could easily be force fielded out here, and oh, the force fields do not land, and the Lings of Sheth are safe for another day. And it looks like it will be, again, Axslav in the driving seat from here, as he is ahead in supply, as is unusual of the 15-16 minute mark. I mean, although the gateways are being pressured here, but it's not going to do that much, as even if the gateways fall, it's not going to hurt Axslav too much, and it's going to allow this army to get here in time, and oh, the force fields do go down, Guardian Shield too, and this army of Axslav pretty good, and is going to kill off a few more Roaches and put Axslav further and further ahead here. The units last tab remarkably even, slightly in favour of Axslav, but overall economy has been so weak for Sheth due to that early 8 gate that really Axslav is still ahead in economy. And as a Zerg player, you tend to want to be ahead in this matchup, as you tend to trade inefficiently. Even if you're killing armies, you tend to trade inefficiently. So really, Sheth needs to expand aggressively, or just basically make something big happen with his army. And at the moment the army is failing, and the Burrow play here is kind of cute, but I guess he's just regenerating his health. But what will Burrow achieve against Protoss with observers? Probably not. It's probably not going to be game changing here. Just a nice little Burrow that Sheth likes to get, I think, for the regen. Anyways, so we do indeed see the observer at the front door of Sheth, gonna scout out any additional units. Does he see the infestors? It's the big question. And he will in a moment if he hasn't already. But nonetheless, Colossi deal with infestors really, really well. And Colossus Tech is now done for Axslav. We do indeed see a probe with this army to plant proxy pylons down. This will be quite a menacing force, Sentry Immortal Stalker, basically the hard counter to Roaches. But infestors fare well against this composition. So Blink, of course, could be a big deciding factor here, but oh, this attack could be a big deciding factor too, as this is called Axslav way out of position. Sheth will lose his fourth base. That's okay though, it wasn't done quite yet. Will the third base though of Axslav fall? I believe it might actually, as there is very, very few units in the base of Axslav to defend, and Sheth needs to micro here, but he also needs to watch his own home, and oh, the third base is gonna fall again. Sheth in so much trouble, as he cannot afford to lose this base right now. He has to get this base or he is out of the game really, and oh my god, with so few units left here, I don't think he'll even get that unless he sends in everything, which he is doing right now. But I don't even know, I don't know if he'll be able to actually get this third base with more and more warpings from Axslav. This is insane. There are upgrades on those Lings, but only in the armor department, I believe. If I can click on one, no upgrades at all. Actually, that's a Roach upgrade that's done. And the force field's too good. The cleanup is going to be complete over here. The third base is still denied, and even though the main army of Axslav has been scared away by the infestors, which did not die, it doesn't matter, because Axslav is a 3-base toss with 76 harvesters, a fully saturated 3-base versus a 2-base Zerg, and the economies has been in the favor of Axslav all game long. Sheth behind by 50 supply, the army composition of Sheth featuring a lot of Lings. Infestors alone cannot kill a toss. And this toss player is getting Colossi out, which are great against infestors by the way, and is even getting the Stargate transition, even going to be moving into those into that mothership to deal with Broodlords. And Sheth is going into Broodlords, but he can't really afford to get a big army here. Long distance mining already, not a good sign. And we do indeed see the third base going down yet again for Sheth, but what's he going to achieve? I don't know, he seems pretty stuffed right now, and it will indeed take a lot to get him in this game. Of course, Broodlord Infestor should never be underestimated, and if an army does get up, one big army of Sheth may be enough to do the trick. But I don't know, the army of Axslav is not weak by any means. Axslav is a pretty good player, his unit control is pretty good, so it's gonna be hard. It's a tall feat, it's a big asking for Sheth, but it can possibly be achieved. So we'll have to wait and see how this battle does go down, but right now the Broodlords are not done yet, and the Lings, oh, a lot of them dying, and the supply getting further in favor of Axslav. We are going to see the pylon supply blocking Axslav, which doesn't particularly matter, to be honest. But meanwhile, of course, the Stargate transition is not quite done yet for Axslav. No mothership yet. And Axslav just saying, okay, I don't even want to risk it here. I know you have infestors, I know you have chokes, I know you have tech. Why would I throw myself into that when I can sit back, macro up, and get further and further ahead and get up my mothership? The mothership is now on the way. And this is going to really suck for Sheth in just a few minutes, I feel, as this mothership tech, with Archons, especially if they are made, could be game-ending. Without Archons even tends to work, as it does indeed take Broodlords out of the battle, and then none of the other units get killed before the Vortex ends, and then after that you kill the Broodlords, the Ahsokas, that works too. So really, I don't know how Sheth can deal with this. Okay, so meanwhile, in the base of Sheth, we do indeed see the attack going down. And sorry, my phone interrupted this cast, but you are seeing the Stalkers blink forward here, and they are going to get 2 Infestors straight off the bat, which is going to be amazing for Axslav here. We are going to see the remaining 2 Infestors. Oh, another one going down, so only a few Infestors do remain for Sheth, 9 actually in total. And in general, that battle went quite well for Sheth, as you can see, Axslav just unable to get under those Broodlords and taking a bit of a beating there. His supply count hasn't dropped that much though. He did warp in quite a wave of units to reinforce. So while units lost tab will start to favor, start to be less in favor of Axslav now, you will indeed notice that Axslav does still have a good army, back to max yet again, and meanwhile Sheth's still sitting on a very small army. So all of this trading, whilst it looked quite good there for Axslav, for Sheth, probably favored Axslav just because Sheth can't really afford to trade much at the moment. The third base though is finally running safely for Sheth, but just as I said that these Stalkers could take it down quite easily, the army is split of Axslav, and how will it go down? Will Sheth take out half of it, or will he miss out it completely? We do indeed see the army over here, and what was Sheth going to do? He's not going to engage. And wow, when you can't even engage half of your opponent's army, you know you're in trouble. And basically Sheth is in that spot right now, losing a Broodlord here, we do indeed see, and we're going to have to watch the units tab. Only 3 Broodlords do remain. He can afford a couple more, but he does not have time to get them onto the field in time for a battle right now. We do indeed see a Observer going down, but that's the blink used, and that allows a few Stalkers to be surrounded and killed, but at the same time there are still many more units remaining, and can Sheth hold here? He's getting some nice fungals off onto these units, but it looks like they will actually go down with a couple more fungals. The Colossus is going to fall, the Immortals should fall too, the Stalker should fall over here, and Axslav losing a ton of his army units, but has he done enough damage? He did take out the 3rd and the 4th bases here. Sheth back to 2 bases, and Sheth, wow, I feel like Sheth, with a ton more Broodlords made, up to 5 and 9 Infestors, needs to go all in here while he still has that Infestor energy. Meanwhile though, there is a Warp Prison play in the main, and that is going to kill the Hive. That most probably, it looks like the Lings are going to try and save it. Will they get there in time? It looks like, oh, they will actually. So the Hive should be saved in the end. So the Warp Prison play being shut down quite nicely there by Sheth. But that delays Sheth. It brings his army out of position, and that allows the 4th base to be sniped by Axslav yet again. Axslav continuing to press forward, but does he have the numbers here? A blink on top of the Infestors. One does go down, but all these Stalkers are going to die. A poor trade there for Axslav in the end. Can he reinforce to match this rate of units that he is losing, as the supplies are getting a lot more even, but Sheth cannot replenish his supply. Meanwhile, of course, we all know that Axslav can, so really the longer Sheth waits, the worse the situation gets for him, and I feel like chances are he can't make much happen here, but if he can make anything happen, it will be now, and it will be basically by trying to get around that mothership problem. As the mothership being there is a huge issue. Perhaps Neural Parasite could help, it's hard to know, but nonetheless, Sheth needs to make something happen, and he needs to do it fast, because at the moment he is just losing units, he is bleeding out here. And these 3 cannons can deny these Lings, I think, because these Lings are pretty weak. They don't really have full upgrades, and they 2 attack upgrades, that is it, compared to the 3 attack upgrades of Axslav. So the upgrades being down, with everything being down, Sheth needs something here, and he is going to get a Warp Prism, but that's not enough, as Axslav's still getting further ahead on supply, even though Sheth is cleaning out in different locations. That was partly due to those lings that did fall, but nonetheless, we are back to third base up for Sheth. Needs to get on that gas on this base. Meanwhile, he does have the fourth going up again, but at the same time, Axslav is almost mined out his third base. Axslav is onto his fourth base, half mined out, and his fifth base is almost done. As such, Axslav, with Archons already done, is in a great spot right now, almost going to be at 3-3 upgrades. And meanwhile, Sheth has only one armor on his end, not even an attack upgrade, an armor upgrade. Probably mostly for the Corruptors and the Broodlords. And yeah, we are going to see a big push in again by Axslav, and again the Broodlords and Infestors are here to meet it. They do have energy, but do they have enough to hold on against this army with so little else? And oh, the Vortex! Oh, the Vortex was almost perfect, and that Archon Toilet should seal the deal here, as I cannot see what else could possibly go the way of Sheth. After this, we're going to see the Broodlords almost get one shot coming out of here, and it's just going to be ridiculous. There go the Broodlords, two-shotting them, all dead. There is the GG, and GG from Axslav as well. So a convincing final engagement after a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of slowing before the kill, but in the end, Axslav's ability to contain Sheth so well, to keep denying bases to delay them. After that 8-gate, he just basically held on to every little ledge he had, and built on it, and built so well. As such, I am impressed by his play today. So Sheth losing a game here to Axslav, and of course if you want to see more of Sheth, do watch his game against Idra, a very cool ZvZ. I say cool because it was quite long, and it's a ZvZ, which is kind of cool. But just see you guys on another day, I guess, because I am done for today. So thanks for watching, and please do subscribe if you like my content. Other than that, yeah, see you guys.